the descent of the Watchers. They descended from the sky. When we hear this, the biblical text or the Enoch text, what are we being told here? We're being told that these people, and I do mean people, came from the sky down. They descended from the sky down to the earth. They were the Watchers. They would watch over humanity. In some ways, they were forbidden to engage humanity. Some of them were forbidden to actually engage, in other words, to directly interact or interfere. It was against the rules. They actually had something called a prime directive, the same kind of prime directive you see that they utilize that same term in Star Trek. In the Star Trek TV series, since it came out in 1960 all the way till now, they have a prime directive in which they cannot directly engage or interact with any civilization that's pre-warp. If that civilization is pre-warp and they're going to actually go down to the surface of that planet, then they have to pretend like they're part of that culture. They have to pretend like they fit in, like they're not really aliens or from space. And they can't alter or change or give them any technology in any way, shape, or form. It's forbidden, literally forbidden. Well, they've got that information from the ancient tablets. And the Watchers descended to Earth because they were attracted to human women. Now, that's not me saying that. That's in the Book of Enoch. That's the ancestors saying this. They were attracted to human women. And this group of angels was led by Zemaziah and Azazel. Zemaziah and Azazel were the two chiefs or leaders of this particular crew of these Watchers. And they decided, you know what? These girls look pretty damn good. We're going to take some human wives. Now, it's interesting that when you read the Enuma Elish or the Epic of Atrahasis, you discover these beings in there. They call them the Igigi. And these Igigi people are these Anunnaki workers. They're not slaves, but they're the working class. In other words, if I own a construction company, I'm the boss, then I have a master architect, and underneath that I have a foreman, and then underneath the foreman I have workers who go out and actually do the labor to build the product or the house. You see, it's a structure, it's a system. Well, these Igigi, they said the same exact thing in the Epic of Atrahasis. They said, we want to get some of these human women. We don't have no women over here. They were working, according to them, they were working on Mars. And they were complaining about the conditions. And they said, you're working us like we're slaves, or we're not slaves. And not to mention, we want to take some of these women back with us. So in two different texts from two different time periods, we find the same story. And so they began families. So they basically breached heavenly boundaries and all the rules that were set before them to not interact, not engage, and definitely not have sex with human beings. Not that they only have sex, but they said, you know what, we're going to keep these. We're going to make them our wives. And so then they started doing something again that was against the prime directive. They started teaching forbidden knowledge. I didn't say that. The Book of Enoch says that. And the fallen angels impart various types of knowledge and skills that were previously unknown to mankind, which had a profound and often detrimental impact on human societies. These beings, not only did they come down for the good loving of the woman, the human woman, but they also then violated another law and began to engage mankind and give us the forbidden knowledge. And why was it forbidden? It was forbidden because, why? It was forbidden because this information that they were giving to humans was going to expedite our advancement technologically. And when you advance your technological prowess, all of a sudden, there's room for extreme detriment to that civilization. When you take a civilization that isn't maturing enough spiritually and give them advanced technology, turn them into a technocratic civilization, they can potentially destroy themselves. I'm going to be talking about the Book of Enoch tonight. All right, the Book of Enoch. I'll describe to you who Enoch was and everything else. If you look into the dogma of the Christian belief system, they praise Enoch for being so holy and so so good to God that he was taken away and straight to heaven. He didn't have to die. He went straight into heaven and he never came back. That's what they preach to you, right? They tell you that this guy was just a real good guy, and he did everything that God wanted, and he was without sin, and he was so incredible that hey, just take him straight to heaven. Just bypass the whole death process. Just go ahead and take him to heaven. And they'll teach you that in Sunday school, right? And so that's the story that you get, but that's not the actual true story. Not the true story. It's quite interesting that Enoch is highly, highly, highly revered in the biblical text. However, his own book, look at all this information in here, was left out of the Bible. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think Enoch's text was left out of the canonized Bible? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's talking about these people behind me. That's why. The Book of Enoch. It's an ancient Jewish religious text traditionally ascribed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Now, who is Noah? We know now, because I've been reading the Epic of Gilgamesh, that Noah is actually Ziusudra. Okay? That's his real name, Ziusudra, before it was converted to the name of Noah in more recent texts. His original name is Ziusudra, or even depending on which version of the Epic of Gilgamesh, Akkadian or Babylonian, it could be Unapishtim. Okay? Ziusudra is the most commonly known name, but Enoch is the great-grandfather of the person that was actually given the instructions on how to build a ship to be saved from the flood. Now, this ship that he actually built, we discover in the Sumerian tablets, is not a gigantic boat like what they have been preaching to you in Sunday school. He was given the instructions, and how do I know this? Well, the tablet is actually in the British Museum. He was given the instructions on how to build a gigantic round disc submersible, or maybe it flew. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. And it was cut up into sections like a pie on the inside. And he was told to put his local flora and fauna and his local livestock in that disc. He never built a gigantic ship. Not once did he build a ship. That is false information. Not once did 2 parakeets and 2 lions and 2 deer and 2 cockroaches and 2 fleas and 2 ticks and all this come on the boat. Didn't happen. Okay. I'm just telling you right now, it did not happen. He was literally told to get his local flora and fauna and his local livestock and take on this disc that was cut up into sections like a pie on the inside, but it was a sealed disc, like a saucer. Okay. That's what he was in. And we know this for an absolute fact now. There's no way to get around it. There's absolutely no way to get around it. And, they show in the movies, they got, that one movie, that Noah movie, they got, every kind of animal and you got 2 flies and, I mean, come on, guys. 2 piranha. I mean, get out of here. It didn't happen. Okay. It just didn't happen. Let's get into the real knowledge. All right. Let's just drop the fairy tales and get to the real knowledge. So Enoch is the great grandfather. Now, what's important here is we're aligning a man who has directly interacted with these advanced beings. Now we know his own descendant also interacted with these advanced beings, as he was given the actual instructions on how to build this from Ea Enki, one of these Anunnaki people. Enki saved him and his family's life by teaching him how to build this particular disc-shaped floating device, if whatever you want to call it, right? This DNA bank, if maybe it was that. But we see a direct connection between Enoch and Zeezudra, who's actually now called Noah in more modern texts, because the Bible is New Age information, not Old Age, it's New Age. During the full moon, which is totally predictable, do you know that police stations ramp up and have more policemen on staff that night? And the emergency room and hospitals have more staff that night on a full moon? Do you know why? Because on full moons, there's going to be more activity with crime and with injuries, either stemming from crime or other, maybe more car accidents or whatever, on the night of full moon. Full moons directly affect human consciousness, directly. And so you have the consequences of all these teachings that these beings did. I don't call them angels because they're not angels. They're not angels in my book. The knowledge imparted by the watchers leads to increased sinfulness and corruption among humanity, according to the Book of Enoch. The text portrays this dissemination of forbidden knowledge as one of the key factors leading to the moral decay and the eventual decision of God to bring about the great flood in the form of a divine retribution. Now think about this for a minute. Let's go. We got to have a conversation. I'm almighty. I'm all knowledgeable. I'm all knowing. I'm Alpha and Omega. I'm the beginning and the end. I think and things come into existence. I breathe and wind blows and I snap my fingers and I create multiverses and all this good stuff. And I got a couple of bad apples that just don't want to listen to what I have to say. So they break my rules and they go to this planet Earth and they start teaching people how to, do things and gave them a little bit too much knowledge. And because of this knowledge, they start acting up too. You know what? Instead of me going down there and setting everything straight and doing some real teachings, doing some workshops, I think I just, go ahead and wash the whole planet away. Just flood it. Just kill everybody. Just kill as many people as I possibly can and see if I can start over like a fresh slate, because I'm God. And it'd be just too easy for me to snap my fingers or go down there and teach. So I think what I will do is I'll just destroy and kill everybody. Women, children, everybody. Just kill them all. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Come on. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm laughing. And it's ridiculous. So do all the pastors listening to me right now. It's an absolute farce. It's a farce because you're saying in one moment, this being is so powerful, it can control everything with a single thought and a snap of a finger or one spoken word. And on the other hand, the being is so helpless that the best it can do is hurl a rock into the planet and hope that floods the planet and kills everybody. Come on, man. Which one is it? So that's what happens. Pretty interesting, right? The punishment to the watchers is, as the result of their actions, the watchers are judged by the archangels and are subjected to severe punishments. They are bound and cast into the abyss, a form of imprisonment and torment as a penalty for their disobedience and negative impact on humanity. So the humans got to die in the flood, but these people, they don't die. They just get kind of bound into some kind of a chamber where they can't get out. If they're not killed, they're put into some kind of prison. If you really go into the text, you discover something very interesting, that Enoch wasn't taken by God. He was taken by people. And he wasn't just taken once, he was taken more than once. You're taught in Bible study that he was taken to heaven on a chariot, never to return again. He was taken straight to heaven. He bypassed death. Not according to the Book of Enoch, where he actually has a conversation with the beings that are going to take him on this trip to teach him knowledge This teaching is approved and this trip is actually approved. And it's given a set day that they're going to leave on this trip. He even gets his affairs in order and has his sons prepared for the day that he's going to leave. In the Book of Enoch, the narrative of Enoch being taken into the sky or the heavens is one of the key elements of the text. The ascension is portrayed as an extraordinary event where Enoch is granted divine visions and insights, setting the stage for the detailed revelations that follow in the book. In his ascension to heaven, Enoch's ascension is described across several passages in the Book of Enoch. He is taken up into the heavens multiple times, each providing different experiences and revelations. In other words, different things he's being taught, different knowledge that he's been given on different trips. Multiple, not even double, but multiple means more than two. In his initial ascension, Enoch describes how he was taken up into the heavens on the clouds and the wind in the sky bore him aloft. Well, that sounds quite a bit like flying in some type of a vessel. The ascension is often seen in his initial introduction into the celestial realms, and during this time, he visits various places in the heavens and earth, including the places where the heavenly bodies, stars, sun, and moon are regulated. Oh, he's in outer space, guys. One of the earliest accounts of a planned alien abduction. Visions of the heavens. As Enoch ascends, he is shown the treasures of the stars and the thunder. Among other secretive and sacred places of the heavens, he witnessed the workings of the natural world from a divine perspective. So he's looking at the earth from atop, and he describes it as a giant ball. Understanding the operation of the cosmos, the weather patterns, and other natural phenomena from above, looking down on the planet. He's seeing the clouds from the other side. See, this isn't a story about some heavenly father, a sky daddy with a magic wand, whisking away a good human into heaven. It's a story of advanced beings with advanced technology that's capable of space travel, taking a man from the earth into space and teaching him things. This is why the Book of Enoch is not in the Bible. Then you have the revelation of secrets. Throughout his heavenly journey, Enoch is also shown secrets that are not known to other humans. He's given forbidden knowledge. These include ultimate judgments of the angels and humans, hidden paths of the stars. He's given star maps and the storehouses of life and rain, which are meant to explain both cosmic and earthly operations from a divine standpoint. He's given the information and knowledge how to predict weather patterns on earth. That's what the Book of Enoch is all about. These are the facts. Why am I doing this? Because I know most people will never get a chance to go through this. But if you do, you'll find everything I'm talking about is right in this book, the Book of Enoch. One of the most revered people in the biblical text, whose book was omitted by the Council of Nicaea. Why? We don't want to tell them about these aliens taking people into space and how they lusted after our women. No. Let's keep that on the outside. Just keep it on the outside. That's why. You know, the thing about knowledge is it has no power. Only if you apply it, it has power. The application of knowledge is power, but knowledge alone is not power. So now that you've got some knowledge, all right? Now that you have some knowledge, what are you going to do with it? You have it in here, but if it stays in there, it's like putting your talents underneath a rock. Just like that parable in the Bible. Oh, yeah, I read the Bible. Don't get, I got my Bible right here. See, I had this Bible since, what's the original date I had this? I got this Bible in 1998. 1998. And it kept it in great condition considering how much I've gone through it. Don't put your talents underneath the rock. See, I'm intelligent because I know how to take good information from this book. I can take good information from the Quran. I can take good information from the Apocrypha. I could take good information from the Enuma Elish. I could take good information from the Bhagavad Gita. I could take good information from the Sefer Yetzirah. I could take good information from the Nag Hammadi scripts. I can put it all together. I can keep going if I were you. I can keep going. The difference between being super intelligent and being ignorant is your ability to take information from multiple sources and connect the dots, but also to know and discern what to utilize and what to discard. That's what makes you super intelligent. Literally. When you get to that level, it's a high level. It don't mean you fully made it, because I didn't fully make it yet. But I'll tell you what, I'm on my damn way. Learning is a lifelong process. But you got to be able to connect the dots. And let me tell you something. There's good information in this book. Don't get me wrong now. Don't get me twisted. There's good information in that book that you can apply to your life. And if you apply some of those things to your life, you're going to get a good result. Period. It's a fact. Not all of it's trash. A lot of it's just remixed ancient text. But there's good information that you can actually utilize and apply in your life in that Bible. Quran as well. Nag Hammadi scriptures as well. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on. I have over 1,500 books in this house alone. And I know what's in every single book. You got to take time and energy to put into the things that are important. Everyone does that for whatever's important to them. For me, the knowledge is what's important to me. That's what's important to me, the knowledge. And understanding how I can apply it and how I can actually use it. That's what's important to me. You see? That's what's important to me.